What can I say? I gotta start somewhere.
An interesting view, isn't it?
How long have you been here?
Not long. Just the whole time. I was just from the bathroom until I noticed you weren't in our usual spot. So of course I had to say hi. I tried getting your attention, but seemed like you were in some other dimension or something. So I just sat there and watched.
Bruh, please don't creep up on me like that.
Now, what we just watched right there was the trailer for the second episode of 7, Time Well Spent to the World Around Me, which is coincidentally coming out today.
Whoa.
Now, if that looks familiar to you, that's because this animation was produced by Ploopy Animations and created frame by frame.
Amazing, right? On the flip side of the painstaking traditional animation methods, recent developments in AI have made it to the field. And so one may wonder, what does the future hold for animators?
AI is everywhere, isn't it? these
Become a
days?
very hot topic nowadays.
Always. Now, the World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report predicted in 2020 that AI will be replacing 85 million jobs globally by the year 2025. Wow, that's coming soon.
Exactly.
Right, so joining us today to discuss this issue, along with their latest project, are Ploopy Animation founder and director, Yohannan Reynard and animation director, Alexander Abel. Good morning, guys. Happy
Good
Sunday.
morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome back to you.
Thanks for having us again.
Exactly, and welcome to you, Abel.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
So you just recently had the screening for yesterday.
Yeah, we had the first premiere, which coincidentally was yesterday.
Right, okay.
And then we had a relatively massive crowd. It's like, yeah, we want more. It's like, all right, just chill. We got to work with
we
it.
got to do this frame by frame, guys.
Frame by frame ain't easy.
Frame
So,
by frame.
congrats
Amazing.
on that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
So, the second episode will see a global release, but the first one didn't.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So about that, actually, it did get a global release. However, it wasn't as grandeur as this one per se.
Oh,
Because last time was more of like, hey, these are the results for our research and development. With at the time the team were 2 people.
Right.
Now it has grown to 6.
Okay.
And so that explains we have our new animation director.
Yay! Wow.
So like one of the things that we focused on was increasing the quality with the same time frame that we had. And so for those who aren't too, unknown to the series, how the quality has already increased over time, right? And so now we are down to I think we're up to close to 200 views in the first day, I believe.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Which is a step up compared to the previous one.
Yeah.
And so, we got a global release. And
Okay.
I think as of today, it should already increase by at least double, hopefully.
So with this addition and this expansion of your team, how many episodes are you planning to release, and what's the time frame?
So hopefully we could get up to 22 episodes or maybe 24, a proper anime series, right? But that would solely determine on if we play our cards right, because we do need investors down the line.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Animation isn't cheap to make,
Yeah.
which explains why in the previous time we came here, we talked about how frame by frame is a dying off method, and everyone's going for either CGI or motion graphics.
Yeah.
And now the new topic is, hey, AI can make animation.
Yeah,
So
wow.
yo, what's going on here?
Exactly. Do you guys feel it too? It's super fast and times, like we are beating with the time. Like we are, oh my God, this is like a marathon or.
Exactly, because AI itself, basically, the biggest fear is, will it replace us? That is the number in question in almost any industry. And now that it's touching an animation, we're like, hold on here, we can't let them win.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so-
wow.
So
Okay.
it's human versus technology kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is it a versus, because depending on what sector we're discussing, now I would like to ask your perspective on, say, an animation company like yourself. You had quite a limited amount of resources and you have time constraints. Could AI play a hand in perhaps helping you be more productive or meeting those deadlines?
So funny enough, there is a form of AI we're using which actually helps us not on the visual aspect, but more to the vocal side, considering we don't have a sound engineer.
Okay.
How does it work?
And it's like a web-based AI. Essentially, you feed it your recordings like an MP3 format.
Okay.
And I think what it does, because we don't really know how to do it, right? Essentially, it clones our vocal profile and then read
Oh, and it creates all from
Yes.
this dialogue. Is
from
that
the
right?
with no noise and enhanced audio, essentially.
So you don't need to book a studio where it's like
No.
soundproof.
Exactly. So one of our voice actors actually recorded it with his iPhone, what do you call it, earphone.
Earphone.
Right.
And with so much noise, everything all the cars outside
Okay,
honking.
wow.
Put it through the AI, clean.
Wow. So
that
basically,
right?
they can coexist. They can working together.
Well, that was my
basically.
question initially. Like, of
Technology
course, we're
can be
always worried
useful
about
help.
machines are going to take over
Yeah.
the world, but in some ways, it can be very helpful.
Exactly, and can support what you guys are doing. You mentioned earlier about the investors. Now you got the investor, is it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So that explains why we're going to have a private screening today.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, best of luck for that.
Yeah.
So how many episodes of Sevens do you guys planning?
So about 22 to 24,
Okay.
if we ever get to it.
Okay.
But at the moment, we are...
Depends on today.
Depends on today. We shall see. We'll see what the future has in store for us.
So I want to kind of segue back to the AI issue. You talked about sound design. What about the animation itself? Let's get right into the meat of this discussion because
Okay.
can computers replace humans when it comes to animation? Because a lot of what you guys do is literally frame by frame. It's something that's very tedious, but something that requires a human touch, no?
Yeah, so one of the biggest topics regarding AI and animation was, I think, this like video made by, I believe it was Corridor Cinema, Rock, Paper, Scissor. And essentially, like the biggest headline is like, hey, AI generated anime. And it's like, okay, so how does that actually look? And people are like mind blown, hey, AI can do this now.
Right.
So, is it gonna cut us out of the game or what's gonna happen? Like, yeah, you've seen Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Yeah.
before,
What do you
right?
think, Abel, as an animators?
So one of the earliest tool of animation AI that immediately got integrated into the production itself is interpolation AI. It's essentially when you create an animation that's, for example, 24 frame per second, you can interpolate it and create a 60 frame per second
Okay.
animation.
And it'll fill in.
Yeah, it'll fill in the blank and it'll
Okay.
create a super smooth movement and everything. But it's not always good
Yeah.
How so?
because if you create an animation that is too smooth, it's not according to how it is designed.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
not organic, essentially.
Yeah.
So you lose
Less
that,
like soul, right?
Yes,
It's,
that's
there's
all.
no
It's too
soul.
good.
Yeah,
It's too perfect.
when the producer creates it, for example, 12 frames per second
Okay.
in a certain movement, it's because it is designed that way.
To that way.
Just like the
Oh.
Spider-Man Homecoming. It is
No, not Homecoming,
No.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse, right, exactly.
Okay, what was that? How is that related?
Yeah, so at the first, they create the animation is kind of choppy-ish.
Yeah, so the
the
frame rate
first.
was kind of low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of choppy, but it was apparently designed that way. So every time the character was kind of, what do you call it, nervous,
Yes.
it would get really choppy.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you gain confidence,
We can
it became
feel
really
that.
smooth.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see. Because I watched that several times. Now I know what I'm looking at.
It
Right?
gives the impression of awkwardness for the
Yeah,
character.
yeah, yeah.
It is designed to be that way. Now, if it's smooth, it's not gonna achieve the same.
we are going to lose that.
Yeah.
But couldn't you argue that AI can be taught to do things according to how you want the treatment
Yes.
to be? It doesn't have to be super good,
Yeah.
or super smooth.
So the AI can be trained in such a way that it'll complete. Maybe in the future, if it's trained enough, you can complete any kind of task and any kind of vision
Yeah.
that you want. However, at the moment, it still can't replicate the vision,
Okay.
the vision of the producer and the creativity and the human touch that it needs.
Creativity, definitely,
Yeah.
I could see. But as an animator, I mean, does this worry you?
I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic about it.
Yeah, that's good.
To a certain degree, it does worry us in the
Yeah.
sense that if it does achieve that human-like touch,
Right.
Yeah.
then we're definitely threatened,
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, if we work together with it, this could speed up the process exponentially.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And
What, yeah. What I love about a movie or anything that I watch is a good story. I mean, you can have machines do the drawing or do the recording for
Yeah.
sound, but do you think AI would ever be able to create a good story? Because I think that's what really matters.
So interesting enough, one of these days, I was talking to one of my friends, and he was messing around with ChatGPT, I think.
Yes.
And he asked it like, "Hey, can you make me a story about point A, B, C?" And then like within seconds, boom, full
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
full
Yes.
screenplay format. I'm
Yes.
like, wow, it's that powerful today.
Yeah, I tried on the one app that I mentioned.
Yes.
A few days back, and then the chat GPT and can show you the hashtag as well. It can do the FYP.
Everything.
Amazing. But yeah, you mentioned earlier about the human touch. It's too perfect. It's impossible. It came from you, Shafira. It's impossible. You wrote that. Something
It's like the first time I watched like amazing HD TV. I couldn't get used to it. I'm like, this doesn't look real because it's too good, right? It's that kind of thing.
Actually, there's one other thing.
There's an argument that an AI can create something out of nothing, right? It needs some database.
True.
Yeah.
So
Just to feed it.
You
yeah,
provide that.
yeah, and the provider is human,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So in a sense that human boredom and what constitute as something entertaining for human constantly evolve. If there's no expansion in that database, then it's gonna create the same thing over and over.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
That is the lack of.
Yeah,
I think.
in regards to that actually, I have this one other point, is that they have this one AI that we used. It was a web-based one, where you could, it's a text-to-speech artificial intelligence where you can write a script into it, and it will actually generate, human voices, and you can actually set how human you want it to sound.
Wow.
It can replicate your own voice.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw it on social media when Ariana Grande singing Indonesian.
Oh, that's how that works.
It's
then,
very
right?
similar.
Really?
You
Yeah.
can tell the difference. Amazing.
So, I mean, obviously, this is something that we need to understand more before we decide whether we're going to embrace it or we should be fearing it. But in the meantime, where do you think AI animation, along with sometimes not being able, obviously, to replicate human, do you see any other weaknesses to this technology that seems to kind of, for now, put it below what we can achieve as humans?
I mean, the first thing is definitely for animation, specific to the animation industry, it still can't exactly represent the vision of the producer.
Right.
Like the quality of animation, the frame rate, the movement, and the expression, it's not
It's not exactly what you imagine.
yeah, it's
right?
not exactly
Okay.
what you want.
Right.
You want it to be because, well, just the database and the training is just not there yet, but it will eventually be there.
You'll have to
Okay.
keep tweaking it.
Yeah.
I have a side question. I've heard that AI animation has problem with creating hands for some reason. Is that true?
That's
Yes, that is.
Okay, what is this thing about hands?
But not anymore, though.
Not
It's not anymore.
It's a
that
thing
was
in the
quick.
past.
I only read it like a week
wow.
ago.
It's already updated.
Yes.
So what was the
Oh
issue
my
there
God.
with hands?
I would say one of the basic ways to explain is that, like, in a hand, there's so many joints.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
that's true.
And one of our quotes we keep saying in animation, the more joints equals more money. Yes.
Because you need more
Yeah.
movement.
There's more.
Speaking
sophisticated
about that,
movement.
how is the how about the business? If you speak about the business wise, probably AI will be more effective.
Yes.
You will cut a lot of budget, but there is a weaknesses that fall as earlier.
So regarding that, in my IT day job, actually, so meeting a lot of clients, the AI question is like, hey, how can we implement this, to like cut costs?
Right.
Humans who make errors. Well, AI tend to not make errors.
Okay.
Because the AI is as smart as the person who trains it, which is
Okay.
basically you only need one really smart guy
Okay.
to make one smart AI that
Yeah.
can do the job of like maybe 100.
Okay.
And so it's happening as we speak, which is the scary part. And so right now, that goes back to the question about whether we should be friends or enemies with AI. So on the business side, it might be as sooner as we think it is, but at the same time, it does still has its limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so it
believe
depends
so.
on how rapid AI development.
Yeah.
I think the healthy way to think about it is to think of it as a tool rather
Okay.
than something that
Yeah.
will replace you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would like to think so. I think our definition of tool certainly has to change. Because all this time we used to think that tool is something that we operate in order to help us complete a task. But if these tools are actually going about doing the tasks on their own, this is where humans start to have this gray area that we're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So where do you guys stand right now as when it comes to the present time? Will this technology be something that you see can help Ploopy Animations in regards to your ongoing and future projects?
So for me personally, I'm more on the neutral side, but still leaning to positive because I do believe in progress is important.
Yeah.
Because we cannot
True.
regress with current
Yeah,
progress.
Of course.
And with AI, I think it could definitely help us in the sense that we could create better animation or better sound with the lesser amount of time, lesser budget needed to. But at the same time also, it needs to be regulated.
Oh, yeah.
Very much so.
Because if it's not regulated and anybody can get their hands on AI, then we're talking about security
Yeah,
now, right?
of course.
With the vocal cloning and with the deepfake technology too, like people can impersonate someone that.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
transparency issue, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
That's because it's unregulated at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm sure that
Yeah,
will
fair enough.
get into place soon. As people from the animation industry, can you fully enjoy something? Let's say I was to show you a movie and then tell you beforehand and say, by the way, this was all created by AI. Would you still be able to understand and appreciate it like you would if it was just a regular?
That would be kind of tough to answer considering it's not there yet.
Okay.
But there has been this
From a
case-
quality standpoint.
Yeah, from a quality standpoint. I saw an article that something about a painting that won an award, and then the creator declined the award. The reason is because nobody knew it was AI generated until he mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's
And
like
it was
a public stunt.
Sometimes we don't know what's on social media. It's created by AI.
Exactly.
If it's a flat
Yeah.
digital painting style, sometimes the AI already get so good that you can't tell it's an AI unless the creator
Tells you.
Discloses it.
discloses it.
Yeah.
I think the idea to put the watermark or the like this is created by AI, so people not get confused. It's made by a human or AI
Maybe.
Regulations.
That's exactly my
Could be,
point.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
unregulated. No
Yeah.
such rule is
Yeah.
in place where you have to put a watermark
Yeah.
on your work.
Of course. That is important. So, guys, any plans to embrace AI development in the future? I believe that you guys will not stuck in the conventional way because we have to adapt because it's it's live anyway.
part of nature,
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the useful thing that might happen in the AI future is maybe lip syncing and reading, because AI already can match and detect voices like vocal range and vocal vibration and everything. And since we already have the image scanning also, so you can match when the
lips.
lips with the voice.
Lips move. Oh, okay.
Because it's a pretty laborious process for the animators. So if it can be automated, why not?
Yeah, it took us like a couple of weeks simply just to get our episode, the one that was released, to get the lips synced with the voice.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because it's like a push and pull process where is it voice following animation or is animation following voice?
Okay.
I always thought it was the voice recordings first, no?
Yeah, so on our side at least, like we do a cold read essentially
Yes.
of
There's
the
actually
script.
many steps.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps. So there's like phases too, other than just the steps. We do a cold read. Does the script sound good? If it's good, okay, lock it in. And then we'll try it, recut it to make sure the pacing's right.
Oh.
Wow.
And then we make what do we call an animatic, which is like a placeholder animation.
Yes.
And then they would do the first wave of recordings based on what you see on screen. What are the emotions?
Oh.
So it's kind of like it's got to be in sync.
Sync,
together.
yes.
Wow.
And after that, we have to repaste it again based on when they actually read the script,
Right.
what emotions, because the microseconds count.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And after that, we would make the newer animation, and then that would be locked in, and then the voice would also have to follow the finalized animation.
Oh, wow.
See, and I think
There's
something
a
like
layer
AI
of
would certainly be
process.
able to help cut a lot of time out of that,
Exactly.
indeed.
Huh.
Very labor intensive.
Well, it's very progressive.
Yes.
But it's not easy, of course. But we can ignore about what happened in the future.
The future is now, by the way.
The future is already here.
Right.
We have to embrace it. Then.
Yes, indeed. And guys, congratulations once again on the release of the latest episode. Many more to come. So
Best
I'm
of luck
sure-
for today, guys.
More to
Yeah.
come. Thank
For
you.
For the
very much.
investor.
Fingers crossed.
Guys, come on. Come on. Finger crossed.
To the future of animation.
Of course, to the future of Indonesian animation, of course. Oh, that was fun. We have a different perspective about AI.
A little scary, but always fun.
Little scary, fun way if it's used properly.
Yes.
Let's not hope for a Terminator case here.
No, let's use it responsibly, guys.
All right, let's take a break. We will have a recap of news from our few segments. Stay close.
Thank you, guys.
Right, thank you.